Hello and welcome in today's exciting episode. It's a fabric haul and I'll be showing you the gorgeous cotton prints that I bought over the last month or so. And then I'll be sharing my plans with you for what I'm going to do with them. So let us begin. First we have the cotton lawns from Fabric Works in the UK, and they are absolutely adorable, so I'll take them out one by one. Most of these fabrics that I bought from the UK are William Morris type prints, so historical motifs on cotton lawn, which is a really thin but high quality cotton. And I just absolutely love these prints. They're beautiful and the colors are gorgeous. Some of you will remember my summer jacket that I made out of quilting cotton. So it's a thicker cotton, but it's got the same William Morris type tulip motif on it. And I really like this one, and I would like more jackets like this for spring and summer. So yeah, but I also want to make some dresses. So yeah, I'll show you the rest of the fabric. Then we have, it's kind of the same one, but in different blues with the small mustard flower too. I just think it's so beautiful. Next is the graduated peacock feathers. Large, medium, small, large, medium, small. Navy backgrounds, sort of aqua. Also very beautiful. Then we have a stylized flower, sort of mirrored one. And every second row is the opposite direction. So it's not directional, you could wear it anyway. And I just think somehow they seem to make the blues more intense. I think it's gorgeous. Yet another tulip one, William Morris tulip. And I think this is probably the prettiest version, in my opinion. Everyone has their own favorite, but I love this one. This one is the same as the one you saw in just the navy blue and the dark blue, but this is also aqua and pale blue. I think this is just divine. I love the energy of this one. It's modern and it's just so pretty. I love the green, the cerise green, whatever it's called. It is just beautiful. Love it, love it. Then we have peacock feathers in a standard size, and I love the mix of that magenta pink and sort of red. I got it for the colors, this one, more so than the pattern. I have two more in this tile type motif. This one has beautiful use of multicolor, I think. Really love it. Whereas this one is just straight up cute. I mean, I love the color combination, but mostly I just think it's adorable. Ooh, next up we have the pink one. Oh, you can't really tell from the light's a bit funny. It's white and pink. And yeah, it's a modern tropical style with hibiscus and frangipani berries. Very cute. It also came in a pale blue, and I really wish I'd gotten that one. Then we have the thorny flower with the thorny leaves in brown, mustard and sage green. And lastly we have a mustard tulip one, which is so cute. They are very adorable. And the last fabric I got from Fabworks is this gorgeous floral one at the back, the botanical one. And it's sort of based on the Dutch masters, and it's a curtain fabric So it's cotton, but it's slightly more durable than just a fashion or dressmaking fabric. So yeah, and it's got the most beautiful garden roses and carnations and tulips. These tulips are divine, and there's a few bugs in there. And my favorite, I think, is the lilac, which is a shame because the length I bought, there's lilac on that end and there's lilac on the other end. So yeah, I don't know how I'm going to, I think I might have to fussy cut the bits of lilac, because there's some there, and there's also some hidden in the corner. There's another bit, and I don't know how I'll get to see them on a jacket unless I sort of make the jacket and then also fussy cut a few of my favorite flowers out and sort of hang them over, and then put maybe a layer of tulle over the top to protect it, and then some beading. Anyway, I'll talk about my plans for the fabrics in a minute. I'll just continue showing you the fabrics now. But I also really like that there's marigolds in there. I think they sort of brighten up the whole thing. It's very cute. They only had 9 meters left of it last time I checked, so, but it is double width, so it's 3 yards wide instead of half that or a third of that, depending on what sort of fabric you're used to buying. So yeah, and next I have just a bunch of other florals that I've bought, so I'll quickly show you them too. We have a blue fabric that looks with a black background that looks very English cotton garden-y. Then I have a trio of very big, bold, bright florals. I quite like that purple one. Actually, I like all of them, which would be why I bought them. Then I have some more florals. These are sort of more rose-based, English rose-based. And that one, I just love the greens because they're sort of, I don't know, they seem a bit rascally to me. That one was just, I like the intensity of the red and magenta on that one. I just thought it was a little bit unusual. And again, I love that really bright green. And then with this one, it sort of reminded me of a Liberty print. So yeah, I don't really get many rose prints, so I don't know, it was something different. I like it. This is half a yard of floral from Mood Fabrics that I've had for ages and I just found again. I just like the colors on this one. Sorry, I have washed it, but I haven't ironed it, so that's why it's all wrinkly. But yeah, it was just I felt like the colors were a good mix, because I sort of, yeah, I really just have spent too much time looking at clearance sections, haven't I? We have a Quilting Cotton. They're called solids, but they do have a little bit of a pattern, but basically it's a solid color. So obviously bright pink. These daisy ones, they had a bit of the green and a bit of the bluish purple, I guess periwinkle left. And this one has bugs on it. It's so cute. I love bug fabric. But this one oddly has birds as well. And the bugs are way bigger. It's a little bit odd, but I like the bugs. This fabric here is more of a canvas, cotton canvas base. So it's a little bit harder, almost like a denim jacket type situation, but slightly lighter than that. And I just thought the print was really pretty and it would make a good summer jacket. So yeah, you couldn't use, it's not suitable for a dress, but I thought it would be cute for a summer jacket. Then we have 4 more florals. I thought that one looked like a batik. I really like the background color. This one's nice and bright, but I'm not sure about the white background. And this one's just cute, and I needed some more blues and navy blues. And this one I just needed a few more mustards, and I like the sort of historic style of the floral motifs. And lastly, we have this very, very loud floral print, and I just like the colors. I've got bugle beads in a couple of greens and some different pinks, oranges and reds, that dark red. So I just thought I could sort of do like paint with beads over the top if I made it into a jacket. So yeah, now I will sort this pile of new fabric into the color piles of fabrics I already have. So I have divided them all into color groups. We have the darker blues, we have the purples, the pinks, very cute, the pale blues, just ignore those two sage green ones in the middle. I didn't want to put them with the greens. The reds. This one is mostly mustards. Then we have these sort of darker greens and the apricots at the bottom, aquas at the top, and these are sort of leftover ones. Initially, when I started buying cotton fabrics for the first time in about a decade, I thought that I would be making one dress for each new jacket that I made. So yeah, I just bought a few yards of each fabric, and I thought I'd make a simple dress with each. Something like one of these, like a 60s, short 60s dress, or a long simple summer dress, something like that, or maybe a shirt. So I've got a couple of contemporary, like modern shirts, or a few vintage ones. But then yeah, this happened and I now have way too many fabrics. Basically, I stopped buying tweeds, and yeah, I didn't stop spending money which is fun, but yeah, now I have to stop buying cotton prints. It's ridiculous. I'm just going to use up these and then I can start buying fabric again. So then of course I had to figure out a way to use all those fabrics. So at first I thought tiered, so it's a 3-tiered skirt and then dresses with tiers as well, because that's got loads of different tiers in it. But that's where I was at when I did the last fabric haul video. But as I was folding and putting away the fabric after that, I noticed that what I love about fabrics is not long swatches of them, but sort of vertical sections of where you can really see the whole print. See, I mean, that fabric at the back is glorious, but if you only saw a tiny slither of it going sideways that's all gathered, then you wouldn't really appreciate how awesome it is. And this, if you just saw like just sort of frame a little straight line of it, then you'd see like 2 flowers and maybe a strawberry, and 2 flowers and a strawberry. You wouldn't see everything in there interacting together. And the reason I think this is awesome is because of all the different flowers and all the moths and butterflies and strawberries and bugs in there all together. And I think, yeah, you just don't get the energy of the design when it's just a horizontal slice. And you'd also have to gather it, so yeah, no. There is this Oscar de la Renta dress, however. It's a summer dress with 8 vertical panels, 8 on the front, 8 on the back, so 16 all up. And there are various florals and other coordinates. And yeah, at first I really disliked the dark one in the middle and that had a mix of in the mix, but I kind of like it now. This is another Oscar de la Renta dress from around the same time, a few years ago. And this one has plain black between the floral panels. And sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. I do like the idea of it helping to flare the skirt more. I mean, I absolutely love billowy skirts, and I like that magenta one where she's turned her dress into a sort of duster that you wear as a sort of long summer jacket. I think that's very cool, and I would like lots of those. And yeah, so I'm thinking of doing that but with panels. And maybe with the leftover fabric, I could make some tier skirts, so the vertical with the patterns. And these are just some other Oscar de la Renta dresses. There's a patchwork one and someone with like you could do a fussy cut with flowers. And yeah, and this is the one that I'm sort of going on, basing my look on. And it also comes in a skirt, which is very cute. One of the 8 fabrics they have in that is this sort of vintage look pineapple. And I know for a fact that Spoonflower do a vintage pineapple that looks a lot like that. And I was tempted, but I already have far too many fabrics. So let's get back to what I have here. I absolutely love this Vogue pattern. It has loads of pieces in it. So you could do this sort of patchwork, you know, you could easily have 8 different fabrics that you alternated with that. But I'm not a fan of doing all the buttons and the collars of required of a shirt dress. I do love them and they look beautiful, but I have so many jackets that I still have to make, and yeah, doing buttons and buttonholes and shirt collars take a lot of time, so I might just leave that at the moment. And so I looked for patterns that are much more simple, and I like this one because it's so long. And I know Marcy, the YouTuber, she is awesome, by the way. You should definitely give her a follow. A while back, she made the Vogue 1735 as a dress. And then she also just mentioned offhandedly that you could sort of, you know, not sew the the center front seams up. And you could actually make it as a dust jacket, or a duster, as she calls it. And I call it a house jacket, whatever, or a house coat. And yeah, I think she has a video, and I'll link that in the description box below. And yeah, I think it would be perfect as a summer jacket. So I'm going to use this pattern and just sort of add a few style lines, and yeah, make it up and make it so that it's got 8 vertical panels in the front and 8 in the back. And that way I get to mix and clash all my fabrics and yeah, use them up, because it's a very fabric hungry pattern. These are the combinations that I've come up with. There's mustard, lighter sort of grayscale blues, ones with aqua in them, sort of bright apricot peach ones, green, dark green, lightish greens, purple, dark blue, and sort of pink. So now I'll show you each set just together by themselves, and all spread out so you can actually get an idea of what they're going to look like. So I really like these sort of apricot and peach ones together, but I'm not sure about that Mood Fabrics one with the black backgrounds. I know that the Oscar de la Renta one had one black one in there, like really dark one in there. So yeah, but I think I'll try something else. I do have this fabric. It's on a black base with the, it's a Sally Kelly design with the Gerbera Daisy in apricot. And I think that goes quite nicely. So I think that would make a good one. And there's enough of that Sally Kelly fabric to be in 2 combinations. Next we have the darker greens. I know with the Oscar de la Renta dress they sort of mixed all the greens together, but yeah, green is my favorite color, so I'm hypercritical, I guess. I'm not sure about this combination. I think I'll get used to it, I guess. I sort of like it and I sort of don't, but sometimes clashing is a good thing. So I think I will try these ones together. And yeah, I think I will. Sound very sure of it, don't I? Anyway, next. There's actually 9 here, but I can't decide which one gets voted off the island. They are all so good. I guess if I wanted to add a little more ketchup into the mustard mix, then I could do this and take away the 2 lightest ones. That might be interesting. I'm so sorry about that beeping in the background. I have no control over it. I cannot turn it off. Sorry. Then we have a lighter greens set. There's only 6 in this one, so obviously I'd have to design the pattern a little differently. I do also have this monkey and jungle leaf print, but it's got sort of a greyish beige background, and it sort of makes everything else look, I don't know, it kind of looks grubby or dirty or something, but that's the actual colour. I just don't think they mesh well with the white ones, so yeah. I think I'll leave out the sort of sage ones. I could make a duster jacket out of the 4 bright ones and like use each one twice. And then with these sage grayscale greens, I was thinking of making a jacket out of them, sort of cutting them into strips of bias binding type. So I have this glorious tweed, and it's strips of fabric, a cottonish type fabric, and they're woven together to form a tweed. And I really want to try making one of these myself. So obviously if it's bias binding that you fold in on itself, you need twice as much fabric, and then because it's woven you need twice as much again. So you need, for every yard you need 4 yards of fabric, and there's there in the grayscale greens, so I thought I might try and make my own. Next up we have the dark blues. I love this combination, but I do have a few alternates. Or this Sally Kelly one, it just gives it an injection of energy because it's got the brighter colours, the orange, the bright green, the blue, brighter blue, and the apricot. And of course, I always love the rainbow raindrops. They are just adorable. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous combination. It's like 10 different fabrics here, I think. So I would have to redraw the pattern a little and get everything to scooch over a little. But yeah, on the bright side, there'd be quite a bit of leftover fabric. And then I could make a patchwork tiered dress. And that would be glorious, because I just think in smaller chunks, all mixed together, these fabrics would just be absolutely adorable. I don't have a mum or a grandma, so I don't have any quilts. And I follow the Fabric Patch, which is a quilting store, a Washington State quilting store. And yeah, it makes me want to have quilting in my life because they're such nice people. So yeah, love this combination. Ooh, actually, come to think of it, as well as making this dust jacket and or dress, there might be enough to do a patchwork jacket out of these, because a jacket only takes 1 yard, whereas dresses can take, well, this dress takes about 6 yards. And yeah, I definitely want a big floaty one. So yeah, I might also be able to get a jacket. Very exciting. Again, I only have 7 in this one, so one of the other fabrics where I have enough to do 2 will have to do double duty. So I quite like this Gucci-esque floral in it. I have it in the black base, and I think that looks pretty good. I also have that Gucci looking floral in a white colorway, so the background is white, and I mean, it looks summery, but I think I'll try the raindrops. Well, I'm kind of biased. I think the rainbow raindrops look good with everything and anything. So, I mean, it is a happy, sort of cheerful combination. But I think I like the black Gucci better. Yes, definitely. Especially if I can get the monarch butterfly to go get alongside the orange in some of the other panels. Next we have the grayscale blues, light blues, and maybe all of them if they're patchworked together. But as a dust jacket, I think maybe I would just use these four and use them twice. So still have 8 panels on the front, 8 on the back, but use each one twice. And yeah, I think that would work better than trying to make all these get along together. And next we have the Aquas. I sort of laid them out with all the bright ones on one side and all the mesh sort of wish-washy ones on the other, and that's not great. I'd mix them better, but I do like all these fabrics together. Lastly, we have the pinks, and these are cute. And I don't know, it's very summery, and yeah, I guess I like those ones together. So that is all the fabrics. That would be 9 garments if I make all those dust jackets up. And then, yeah, as I said, with the leftovers, I kind of want to make patchwork, either dresses or some jackets. But I also have some other fabric. I'd like to make jackets out of these fabrics. So obviously the backing one, I'm going to make that into a summer jacket using the McCall's pattern that looks like a vintage Chanel silhouette. I think that will look absolutely beautiful as a summer jacket. And yeah, I particularly love the tulips and the lilacs in the corner there. But I also have sort of these more sort of rudimentary florals. The colourful one with the seed beads that I have to match. I mean, bugle beads. And this one I have seed beads to match. So I'll just sort of like embroidery, but with beads, I'll do over the top of that one with small beads. And same with this, it's a canvas, so it's sort of a denim weight cotton. And I think that will make a really cool jacket with just light beading over the top. So something like this. And then we have the sort of sage coloured cottons. And yeah, I'm going to cut those up and make bias binding type strips and weave them into a tweed, which I'll then make into a jacket. Sounds like a lot of effort for a few yards of clearance fabric. But yeah, and then this one, I think it doesn't really match anything else. So what I think I'll do is, I was just going to make a summer dress out of it. But I think what would be even more fun and slightly dorky would be to fussy cut out each of the things. Fussy cutting is where you sort of just cut around a certain object, like a flower or a snail or a bug, and then use it. Have sort of an area and then group them. So, and make a jacket. So I'll have sort of mushrooms in the corner and then bugs crawling up all over the jacket. And then the arm can just be sort of lots of acorns and oak leaves, and then sort of snails up in some section, and then other bugs there. And because I've got several yards of that fabric, there'll be enough to sort of cut them all out and design them. And then I'll sort of lay a tulle over the top and do some beading or something to keep everything in place. So yeah, I think that would be fun. Kind of a nerdy project, but I mean, I've got so much fabric, I can do little crafty projects along the side, and you know, it'll just keep it interesting for me. So yeah, I think I will do that with this one. And then once I've made everything up, I'll cut all the remains down into squares and do some patchwork jackets. I think that will be really, really fun. And once they're done, I can either just leave them as plain patchwork jackets, or I can bead over the top of them. So yeah. Oh, and I also have the red. And I think I will just make that up into a dress, because I have a couple of red jackets that I'm in the process of making. And I just love that pattern so much. So the design. So yeah, I really want to let it shine. So yeah. Well, there we have it. Those are my new fabrics and my plans for them. Thank you for letting me play show and tell with all my pretty florals. Now I have to actually get the pattern out and modify it and get it ready, and then start cutting these out and making these gorgeous dust jackets up so I can wear them. It should be fun. So thank you for watching my fabric haul, and have fun getting out your own fabrics and finding projects for them.